an FDAX live session that really packed a punch. I can tell you one thing, that was a very special session and I've recorded it for you. I'll share all my thoughts on it with you and you'll see that sometimes it's important to be dynamic. And that's exactly what I was here. I executed partial buys and partial sells and I'll explain all of that to you in detail. At one point I got knocked out of the market, then I got back in, then the market went my way and so on. What is high frequency day trading really all about? That's exactly what you're going to find out today. Hi everyone, today I want to take you along and show you how I traded DAX Futures this morning. It was a very, very exciting session, a very special session, and parts of it are still running, but I think it's time to take stock now. After a few hours of back and forth, how can you trade something like this? How do I handle it when I get stopped out? What locations do I identify for myself? Why do I even have a context direction? And what do I derive from all of that? And it was very dynamic today. So let's get started right away. Yes, first of all, what you see here is my short entry into the DAX. You can see it perfectly here too. We had taken out these highs here. Yes, you can see it clearly, typical pre-market highs. And what did the market do before that? And that's what I find so exciting if you like technical trading. It had made a wonderful V reversal. And often it goes above that again. Let's see if that happened today. But what is my context idea? And that's much, much more important for you. Today, in the weekly profile from Market Profiling, I identified the following for myself, and that prompted me to stick with the short side for now because we had a wonderful profile here, and as everyone can see, here is the VPOC. And the VPOC, which is the volume point of control, had led to the market first establishing a negative balance just below it as a result. And additionally, there was a single print area. That means aggressive hands also decided to push the market down here. And so let's also note the price range, 18,258. That's important for me for now because there it can then get uncomfortable if the market goes above it. And so let's jump back for a moment and see exactly how I initially set up my trades here. And there you can see my stop loss is immediately above the 258, which here was ultimately touched pre-market and then also during main trading hours almost reached. That means the aggressive seller is still there. If it goes above that, it can get uncomfortable. That's the first thing we should note. That's how I always determine a logical stop loss for myself. Yes, then as things progressed, after the whole thing got going, I placed the stop at 257 because I assumed the market was done up there and had fixed everything. And as you can see, the position is running. But now comes something really exciting, and I definitely want to show you that in detail. Why I was able to identify another great level in between, which I defined as an intermediate target for myself. And we can see that quite clearly here. First of all, the market opening, which was very, very deep below the current price range of yesterday's profile. And you can also see here, the market really didn't manage to even come close to running there at first. We remember, this is where the position started. My stop loss was up here after the market had initially cleared everything out. But what's exciting for me? What's exciting for me is that the market simply showed me a huge intraday price gap during main trading hours. And those are always nice areas that I like to define as targets. Because what happened there? The market ran through there extremely strongly and quickly. And those are just the kind of special features that I always love. Good. Let's look at the next step. What happened then? The market ran down here and tried to pick up exactly this price range for itself. But what happened? And that's the great thing. Look at the profile from this day. It runs down here, and you can remember this whenever the last volumes before such a price range are not traded. Caution is advised, which prompted me to first reduce my position and say, well, what you have, you have. And now let's see how the whole story continues and why I continued to hold on to my short. And for that, let's take a look here at the corresponding Euwax Sentiment. And the Euwax Sentiment always shows me what is the positioning of derivative investors. Is it very strongly in the plus? Does that mean extremely long? If it's extremely strongly in the minus, it means for me that the UX traders, the derivative investors who are almost always wrongly positioned, are mostly short. And since I saw that the Euwax Sentiment moved from here back over here, I saw that an incredible number went long, which prompted me to keep my short position for now. And now let's look at how the whole thing continued from there. And that was really intense because the market then shot past my stop loss level that I had drawn in here, flushing me out of the market. Oh boy, yeah, that's part of it. And then I found a re-entry for myself down here after I saw that there was really aggressive selling up here. And this is the most important thing I want to emphasize here, that I saw very clearly that we went back into the price range and then we actually went below this price range, which was a significant observation for me. And so after noticing this movement, I decided that right here within this wonderful and carefully defined range that I had previously set up, I would take action. I said to myself, let's go short again because the conditions seemed right. And that's exactly what I did. I made the decision and I said, okay, this thing is definitely going down here, and I felt confident about that move. And then we went to the low volume, and at the low volume, I took out a position again because that was the price range. Let's remember once more and look together that I had predefined to say that's where I actually wanted to go, but we weren't there yet. And here we are again with the stock market, which is simply dynamic and sometimes does things differently than we'd like. And we've just seen it hit the mark. Yes, and it hitting the mark means closing out another position here. Let the rest run. And now let's see if this thing still hits my take profit. But why do I really want to get down there? It's quite simple. The trend is short. The entire market is currently trending downwards. The market has shown me several times now that it hasn't made a decision up here to really go long sustainably. Otherwise, I would never have made this re-entry. And that's just how I handle these kinds of trading sessions. What will also be super exciting for you is simply understanding what I'm doing here with the sentiment. And for me, it's quite simple, since derivative investors are usually wrong. If we go into the negative, meaning they're all short, the market is more likely to rise. If we go into the positive, meaning the positioning of derivative traders is very strong, long, then the market is more likely to go down. That's something I've observed very often. And so for me, it's another indicator that I like to use to make my, better predictions on the market. So now we're at a point where there'll probably be a bit of short-term lethargy. Since we're at zero now, the market will probably just drift around here for a bit. And then it will build momentum again once the extreme situation has changed. So finally, let's take a look at how the trade actually ended up developing. It took quite a while, but you can see it here. The market drifted around here for ages, then did another pullback. Somewhere into nowhere, because those are just price ranges that are uninteresting. And maybe there too, it's exciting to once again locate for yourself where the momentum trading ideas actually make sense. Well, when you have plenty of room to the downside, otherwise you'll keep getting hit. And when I plan a long swing trade like that, it's nothing more than a trade from one level to the next that I've simply predefined, and that's it. But what else do I find quite exciting? And this is also very crucial for you, yes. If I plan my exit here in the 411 range where the orders were ultimately placed, well, then it's important to stick to it because you can see it very clearly here. These levels aren't chosen for nothing. They're always price ranges where I assume the market might initially do the opposite of what I'm planning. And as you can see here, many people do that. Otherwise, it would have broken through directly. Then I would have very likely chosen a much lower take profit for this swing trading idea. And that's why it's always important to simply use predefined price ranges where you take your profits. Because that's exactly what often happens. And if you just test that for yourself 100 times and say 100 times, okay, if I hadn't had this counter movement 100 times, well then I probably would have earned much more than if it just breaks through 10 or 15 times. Even though that's always a bad feeling, of course. So what do I really want to leave you with today? It's really important to be patient when you have swing trades. It's really exciting and smart if you can trade back and forth with your positions in such balanced market phases. That just helps immensely in generating a bit of outperformance. Only one thing must be clear, and that's the most important part. The direction you want to take for the day must be predefined, and that can change if the context breaks. That means if the market suddenly takes a completely different direction and breaks the relevant levels where you have to rethink the context. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed explaining it to you today and would say, if you liked it, please leave a like and see you very soon. Bye everyone.